On the news at 3, President Tinubu said to meet service chiefs over rising killings. Minister of Aviation Keyamo denies report on 80-year concession plan for Enugu Airport, emphasizing ongoing evaluation process, and Nigerian Air Force inducts first female military school graduates. Good afternoon. Many thanks for staying with us. This is the news at 3. My name is Helen Eric Cheminiwa. Do you love and care about River State and our place? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. And this is a task you and I must accomplish. President Bola Tinubu is reportedly planning to meet with the service chiefs to discuss the rising killings in Plateau, Benue, and other parts of the country. President Tinubu, who returned to the country from his 18-day working visits to Paris and London, was conveyed in an Air Force 00 aircraft and landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Since April 2nd, when he traveled, more than 120 locals have been killed by armed assailants, several homes have been burnt, and over 3,000 persons displaced, despite the deployment of security forces. The death toll in Logo and Bagir, Benue State, after twin assaults blamed on armed forces has so far risen to 72. President Tinubu is said to be very concerned by the security situation and is planning to urgently meet with the service chiefs and the National Security Advisor, Nobori Badu, over the developments. Vice President Kashim Shettima has observed that investment in security and peace is crucial to unveiling and preserving the rich cultural heritage of the ancient Nok civilization. Vice President Shettima made this observation while addressing attendees at the 2025 Tukham Cultural Festival held in Koi, Java local government area of Kaduna State. He was represented by senior legislative aide to the Deputy President and a member of the Presidential Committee on the Nigerian Youth Investment Fund, Stephen Shapari. The Vice President urged the people of Nok area to shun bitterness, embrace dialogue, and collaborate with all tiers of government to restore peace and build upon existing security efforts. He stressed that substantial investment in infrastructure, education, and healthcare are equally vital in showcasing the richness of Nok culture. Senate and House of Representatives have postponed the resumption of plenary to May 6. A statement by the clerk to the National Assembly, Kamaru Ogunlona, said the resumption had been extended by 1 week. The clerk said the extension was to allow senators and House of Rep members to participate in the forthcoming Workers' Day celebrations in their constituencies. The two chambers embarked on Easter and Eid al-Fitr holidays on March 27 and were expected to resume plenary on Tuesday, April 29. The extension comes at a time the country is experiencing multiple challenges, including worsening security conditions and socio-political unrest across several states. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy Wale Edun is leading Nigeria's delegation to the 2025 International Monetary Fund Spring Meetings holding from April 21 to April 26 in Washington, D.C. The Nigerian delegation features senior officials from the Central Bank of Nigeria, Chief Executive Officer of financial institutions, and representatives from the private sector, civil society organizations, and non-governmental organizations. The gathering includes representatives from 190 countries, bringing together finance ministers, central bank governors, and key economic stakeholders to discuss pressing global financial challenges. The IMF Spring Meetings aim to foster macroeconomic stability, provide policy advice, and assist nations facing balance of payment challenges. Now on aviation, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has dismissed reports that the federal government has concluded plans to concession Akano Ibiam International Airport in Enugu for a period of 80 years, stating this reports and stories are utterly baseless and untrue. Keyamo explained that while it is true that the federal government is considering proposals for the concession of 5 major airports, which is a proactive measure to ensure these vital facilities meet and maintain international standards, given the increasing financial demands of their operations. These 5 major airports are the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport Abuja, the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Lagos, the Aminu Kano International Airport Kano, the Port Harcourt International Airport Omagwa, and the Akano Imbiam International Airport Enugu. The minister stressed the initiative to concession the airport started from previous administrations, as the former Minister of Aviation under the Buhari administration, Hadi Sireka, continued to promise Nigerians that these major airports would be concessioned until the last breath of that administration. Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, has announced an accrued 6.9 billion revenue from the mining sector into the federal government's coffers in the first quarter of the year. A statement by Dr. Alake said federal government collected an impressive 6,957,826,200 naira in mining fees and registered 118 new private mineral buying centers. According to him, the achievements were a direct reflection of government's dedicated effort to raise awareness and attract investors to the mining industries. He said the mining cadastral offices has been active, processing 955 applications for title grants, which included 651 for exploration, 270 for small-scale mining, 49 for quarrying, and 24 for recognizance permits. The minister highlighted the impact of the federal government's economic policy, saying it bolstered local beneficiation and positioned Nigeria as a leader in the African mining landscape. And former President Goodluck Jonathan has said he would have been happier if he could end human suffering and bring about peace and stability in Nigeria and across the globe. Dr. Jonathan spoke at a reception organized for him in Abuja by his friends and associates to mark the conferment of the Sonpak Peace Prize on him by the Sonpak Peace Prize Foundation in South Korea. The former president, who was honored with his wife Patience, said he was often overwhelmed with grief and concern when he came across citizens who were suffering and laboring to survive. The Sonpak Peace Prize was founded by Dr. Hak Jak-han Moon, wife of the late Reverend Sonny Moon. It is aimed at ending worldwide suffering, conflicts, poverty, and threats to the environment by promoting a comprehensive future-oriented vision of peace. He thanked the man behind the reception party, Robert Azibola, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, for bringing together the people who honored him for winning the Peace Prize in Seoul. The former president was surrounded by many former aides, friends, former governors, and associates, as well as religious, traditional, and political leaders. Still ahead on the news at 3, Sudan rapid support forces attack Western Darfur, kills at least 30, and Pope Francis' funeral set for Saturday. Details when we return.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys?
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen with good laws,
Proper funding.
Training.
And cooperation.
if it happen,
If it happens.
If it happen.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 per Harcourt. This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 per Harcourt. This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 per Harcourt. This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has constituted a team to investigate the alleged assassination claims by Senator Natasha Akpot-Uduaghan against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Egbetokun, who confirmed that the team is investigating the matter through Force Public Relations Officer ACP Muyiwa Adejobi, said he will unravel the truth. Senator Akpot-Uduaghan, while addressing her supporters during a homecoming gathering on April 1, accused Akpabio and former Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello of plotting to have her killed. She claimed that the alleged plot was due to an unsuccessful attempt to initiate a recall from the Senate. Akpabio petitioned Egbetokun demanding investigation and prosecution of the senator over the claims. In a historic step toward gender inclusion, the Nigerian Air Force has inducted its first set of ex-junior women as airwomen, marking a significant shift in the service's recruitment policy. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information at NAV Headquarters, Air Vice Marshal Ehimen Ejodame, announced that the inaugural beneficiaries, graduates of AFGMS class of 2017 had completed their military training at the NAF base in Kaduna following a rigorous selection process. The milestone follows the revision of NAV absorption policy, which previously applied exclusively to male graduates of the Air Force Military School known as ex-junior airmen. With the updated policy, female graduates of the Air Force Girls Military School can now be absorbed into the force as non-commissioned officers. The young women who graduated from the Girls Military School in August 2023 were selected for the 2024 NAF recruitment training, which they have now completed. Describing the development as a landmark moment, the Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar said it is a testament to the Air Force's commitment to empowering young women and ensuring equal opportunities for all. The Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures of Nigeria has called for urgent and coordinated action by the federal and state government to end the renewed terrorist attacks across Nigeria. The CSSLNN, which made the call in a statement by its chairman, Adebo Ogundoyin, strongly condemned the recent wave of brutal terrorist attacks and killings across several states in the country. The conference specifically mentioned the killings in Plateau, Borno, Benue, Niger, and Kwara, and acknowledged that defense and national security fall within the exclusive jurisdiction of the federal government. The speaker also called on the state governments to complement the efforts of the federal government by making and enforcing an enabling law for community policing and other grassroots-driven security models. The speakers affirmed their commitment to support all legislative actions necessary to restore security, promote justice, and foster inclusive governance across the country. And on the foreign scene now, Rapid Support Forces attack in Western Darfur has killed at least 30 persons. According to reports from resistance committees group, dozens of other people were wounded in attack which tracks the war. The group said the RSF renewed its attack Monday, shelling residential buildings and open markets in the city. There was no immediate comment from the RSF. El Fasher, more than 800 kilometers southwest of the capital, Khartoum, is under the control of the military, which has fought the RSF since Sudan descended into civil war more than 2 years ago, killing more than 24,000 people, according to the United Nations, though activists say the number is likely far higher. Still on the foreign scene, the Vatican has announced that Pope Francis's funeral will be held on Saturday as world leaders from U.S. President Donald Trump to Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky said they would attend to honor the Catholic leader. The Argentine pontiff, 88, died on Monday from a stroke less than a month after returning home from 5 weeks in hospital battling double pneumonia. His funeral, which is expected to draw huge crowds, will take place at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning in the square in front of St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican. Francis' coffin, which he previously ordered should be of wood and zinc, will then be taken inside the church and from there to the Roman Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore for burial. The date was set by the first so-called General Congregation of Cardinals this morning, which kicked off a centuries-old process that culminates in the election of a new pontiff within 3 weeks. And in sports, Nigeria's under-20 male football team Flying Eagles have arrived in the Egyptian capital city of Cairo as they get set for 17th African Under-20 Cup of Nations final starting in the North African country on Sunday. A delegation of 20 players and 9 officials led by head coach Aliou Zubairu touched down at the Cairo International Airport aboard Egypt Air flight. The 7 African champions who are lodged at Jules Sports City and Aqua Resort had their first training session and will square up against host nation, the young pharaohs of Egypt, this evening as part of their build-up to the tournament build to take place 27th February, 18th to 18th May 2025. The match is slated for 5 p.m. local time at the Cairo International Stadium. Still talking sports, meanwhile, Chelsea have drawn up a 3-man striker spotlight for this summer. Multiple reports have suggested that Chelsea are interested in Napoli-owned striker Victor Osimhen, but the Nigerian international was not mentioned in Athletic David Ormstad's list. Einstein reports that the Blues are keen on bolstering their attack options after the season. The Blues have missed multiple chances in the ongoing season due to lack of a prolific striker. According to Oysten, Chelsea are looking at Liam Delap, Benjamin Sesko, and Hugo Ekitike. The trio has scored 12, 20, and 21 goals across competitions this season, respectively. Enzo Maresca's side will face competition for the signature of all 3 strikers, with Delap being linked to Manchester United, Sesko with Arsenal, and Ekitike with Liverpool. Do you love and care about River State and our peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. For this is a task you and I must accomplish. And that's it on the news at 3. Many thanks for staying with us. My name is Helen Eric Gemini. Good afternoon.